Hey, 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 what's vibing today? All right, let's jump right into today's energy reading. So, it was interesting during meditation for this. What kept coming up? A lot of it was around limiting beliefs, or another way of saying that, the beliefs that we've held on to for so long that we may not realize they're our comfort zone and they're literally what to some may feel like that's what's holding you back or keeping you in a loop cycle. So that's what was coming up during meditation. And then as I was shuffling the cards while meditating on the energy, the top three from my YCal deck came out and just solidified the message I was getting in meditation. So the first one, the mind's mastery lies in the heart. Heal your thoughts, heal your body. And what you feel, you will make real. So already those three are really all about the thought forms, the beliefs, and manifestation. So at this time, with the dichotomy of energy that is going on, very interesting that the word dichotomy came out. Not something I use every day, and that isn't really what I was gonna say, but okay, whatever. Um, the old the old way, and I'm saying the old way because we have transitioned into a new timeline. Again, not everybody, but if you're watching this, highly likely you've transitioned to a new timeline or you're in the process of it. And in that process, you are releasing or shedding a lot of the old versions of you, the way that you thought, the way that you felt, your perceptions, how you acted, yada, yada, yada. In the transition, you're stepping into a new space and you're finding that the old thoughts, beliefs, ways, and actions just aren't working over here in the new space. You're right. They're not supposed to. This energy portal that we have just walked through was really about releasing what no longer serves us, what we have found that holds us back, and literally cutting ties with it, releasing it, closing that crypt door, signed, sealed, delivered, we're not going back. But guess what? That doesn't mean you know exactly who you are and what you're supposed to do in the new energy. And if that feels like you, I get it. And I want you to know that this is very normal part of the journey. And this is where we need to take an inventory of facts and look at the facts, because the mind will always try to fill in what it doesn't know. Why? Because that's how your mind was trained back in the matrix. So now over here, it's about sovereignty, knowing who you are, knowing that you are the creator, knowing that what you think about, you bring about. Not only that, you also know what you feel is a vibration and an energy that starts internally and then it gets sent out. The emotional body is a magnet. It attracts, it magnetizes to it the same frequency or stronger. Why? Because it's vibration and frequency. So the key here in today's reading, before I keep going on and on, is if your thoughts your processes, your perceptions are still in your head or in your mind. So practicality, what does that look like? You're going about your day, something happens, and now all of a sudden you're in your head thinking about it. Now, I'm not saying abandon the mind. Nope, I'm talking about in context. Have you noticed the old habit of think, analyze, overturn every rock? Let me anticipate every move in my head and try to figure it out and then take a path. Baby, that's old energy. Not going to work. It is going to cause resistance, frustration, all of the old energies. So the key today, especially, is recognizing where you're getting stuck in your head. And as soon as you realize you're in that analyze, the old monkey mind ways of survival, capture that and just go whoop, 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 whoop. Control Alt Delete, Etch a Sketch for my Gen Xers. We know what Etch a Sketch is and what that means. But Control Alt Delete, stop, going down the path that you really don't want to go down. I'm not going to say it's a wrong path because I don't do right and wrong. It's all about experience. But if you stay in your mind and try to work it out, I guarantee you are going to activate the old story, the old experience, and you could even predict how that, I hit that with my nail and it slid right off the desk. Anyways, you can predict what's going to happen. Why? Because it's the pattern, it's the history. Every time you try to figure it out in your mind without dropping it into the heart and allowing that divine feminine energy of the soul, of the emotional body, to add that love in and just go, okay, is this in alignment with where I'm going and who I'm becoming? Or is this the old version of me? It's all about a choice. And when you make that choice, because again, this is the chariot. And the chariot is about moving forward, full speed ahead. But it doesn't always mean it's going in the same direction. That's what you want to be careful of. Because again, the mind, the old energy, the old way, that has momentum. It has consistency behind it. So it'll kick up real quick. You know, you don't have to dig 6 feet under for that body. It's still right at the surface. So if you stay in your head, and what I mean by staying in your head is the over analyzing, not making the decision and moving forward. It's something happened, 9 a.m. yesterday morning, but now it's 9, 10 o'clock at night. You're wanting to go to bed, trying to sleep, and this thing is just on your mind over and over. You might be waking up in the middle of the night. Heck, you might not even have slept. Or if you did, you wake up the next morning and the first thing on your mind is what happened at 9 o'clock in the morning the day before. That's how you know, Houston, you have a problem. Because in this energy, you're not meant to solve it or figure it out like you did in the past. New you, new tools. And it's your emotional feeling body. All right. Heal your thoughts, heal your body. Same principle. Guys, have you done the internal audit and have realized that what you think about, you bring about? So how you think about your body is how it is going to outpicture. So let's say, for an example, you grew up with a parent, I'm just going to pick a mom, who, when you were younger, really went through a lot of things. physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe in and out of doctors, hospitals, bedridden, whatever. And you witness this, and it impacted her ability to be the mother that you needed. Okay, that's one avenue. The other avenue is, what were your thoughts, feelings, and emotions witnessing that? Because remember, your cells are listening, and what you keep thinking about, or the most electrically charged emotions or thoughts and emotions, get written on your cells. Doesn't mean they're going to act out right away. Like in my case, my shitty thoughts about, my body, illness, everything else, hit me when I hit 30. And it hit me like a freight train. So that, you might be somebody who's kind of experiencing that or grappling that. And when I say think back, what I'm really saying is you have been having past images or signs or things coming up. If you're somebody who is dealing with things going on in their body, and that energy doesn't even feel like it totally belongs to you, ask your heart, not your head. Ask your heart, where did this energy start? Whose energy is this? Because a lot of times what you witnessed when you were younger, the energy you were under, that sets things up for later in life if you don't address them. In my case, without realizing it, until my body just hit a brick wall and shut down with multiple autoimmune issues, things like that, I didn't realize the fear that I carried on a cellular level of getting sick or having a life-altering disease. And then it happened. So, and I know some of you are in that same boat. So again, don't give up. Don't get weary in the doing, because again, this isn't an overnight process, meaning consistency will breed the momentum, and that's what you need, the momentum in a new direction. Ace of Pentacles, right under heal your thoughts, heal your body. You change that perspective and you start speaking to your body, speaking over everything you put into your body, especially your water, food, medication, all of that. Qualify that. You absolutely can start making a difference, and your body is going to hear it. It is going to feel it. Now, my story was this, and this may be yours. I had multiple doctors, multiple specialists tell me I would never get better. The best I could hope for was to manage my symptoms. At 30 years old, hearing that repeatedly was not okay with me. My body didn't like hearing it. I mean, I had a physical reaction to that. It instantly triggered anger and this deep knowing that knowing of, I didn't even know how I knew, but I just knew. And hearing that repeatedly pissed me off. But that was my fuel to double down on what I knew and to prove it to myself first. So that's what I did. And that's why this Ace of Pentacles energy is very fitting for this. Why? Because when you're going through physical illnesses or things, it is a big mind fuck. I'm not going to even try to water that down. But again, the mind is the battlefield, and I don't mean that in any religious terms. I mean that definitely metaphysically, but because personality and ego, that was a program that was developed out of all of your different experiences and senses. So you've been living your life making adult decisions based on childhood experiences. I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. And what I mean by childhood experiences, I mean the beliefs and the perceptions that you've been holding. So now, when you go through this physically, it puts you again in a whole new level. But again, it's a choice. And I'm not discounting medical doctors. It may sound like that, but I'm not. They definitely have their place. But my point being is they're not the end all be all of the truth. First of all, they are practicing. Yes, there's theory. Yes, there's science. Yes, there's studies. Not dismissing any of that. But what is stronger than all of that? Your body. Your body is an amazing biochemical lab station that absolutely can heal itself, given the right conditions. What are the right conditions? Your thoughts and your emotions and what you put into your body. But your thoughts and your emotions really are the keys to your health. I'm not saying abandon doctors. I'm saying use your discernment. Your body only takes instruction from you. So if you're agreeing with the doctor that you'll never get better, then your body doesn't have a chance because it's not given that choice. That's not what you're feeding it. You're saying, this is what it is, and this is what I accept. So, and again, it's a personal journey. When I went on this journey, I'll be honest, everybody thought I lost my mind and I was crazy. I kind of thought that for a little bit too. But again, I was at the point of I could believe what they're saying and not get better and just, live life like this. That was not my truth. I made that choice and said, no, that is not my truth. And, here I am now, 25 years later, living my best life. I am so happy with the healing that my body's done, what it has taught me, how it is still changing. Your body, like I said, given the right conditions, your thoughts and your emotions can absolutely heal itself, change, and put you on a different trajectory. But it starts with you. It starts with your thoughts and your emotions. What you feel, you make real. Absolutely. The 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups. And I'm telling you, this energy, when you have put in this work, and like I said, it's not overnight. It takes a while because you're overwriting and rewriting years of the other programming. Stay with it. Don't doubt it. Doubt is poison. But I promise you, stick with it. Because for me, it took years. I'm not going to lie about that. But I was consistent in the process to where literally one day in 2016, wow, 10 years ago, it was March 2016, I woke up one morning. I went to bed a size 16. I woke up the next morning a size 8. I know, sounds unreal, blah, blah, blah. It absolutely was real. I posted the photos, I did the videos. I literally had to go get new clothes. Underwear didn't even fit. I freaked out. I mean, yeah, I'd been doing the inner work, but I never expected that overnight change, is what I'm saying. So, but again, that change on the surface to everybody else looked like a miracle happened overnight. Truth of it was, I had been working for years behind the scenes with a new story. It was that day that new story came online. That's what happened. But it did. It changed my life. And so much so that I'm going to say later on that year, for those of you who don't know, on my left knee, I've had 4 knee surgeries, 2 ACL replacements. Later that year, the screw in my knee, holding the ACL tendon to my bone, guys, no exaggeration. I was on a trip. I was in Miami. I was in Miami at the time. And all of a sudden, my leg, excruciating pain. And it felt like the screw was unscrewing itself. I kid you not. And even to myself, I thought, I've lost my mind. This is crazy. Excruciating pain. Get back home from that trip. Went to see my orthopedic surgeon. By now, you could see, let me see, about that much of the screw sticking out of my leg. It hadn't popped the skin, but it was there. And when I talk about this pain, it is crazy. But anyways, the doctor took one look, did an x-ray, and went, holy shit, the screw has unscrewed itself. I gotta take that out. I was prepped for surgery that day. And he removed it. And I'll have to, if I remember, I have that screw and the plate that he had to remove. And we joked because he's like, what happened? And I said, well, I started talking to my body. And I told my body to reject anything that is not for its highest good for healing. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody can tell me that those 2 things were a coincidence. Nope, it was not. And since that screw has been removed, my knee has felt amazing. It's been 10 years. I can do things with my knee I have not been able to do since I was 16 years old. So yeah, I don't just talk from book knowledge. Everything I teach and share is from personal knowledge. Yes, I've got the degrees and the education to back it up, but anybody can have degrees in education and talk theory. It's actual lived experiences that create the transformation. So see, moving out of your mind into your heart, your feminine energy will send you forward in a great way. But look, the Fool, brand new direction. That's what this energy is. This is what we're sitting at with what we've come through energetically. 10 of Wands in reverse. Look, Ace of Pentacles, heal your thoughts, heal your body. Right now, this 10 of Wands, whatever you're going through physically can feel like an absolute heavy, heavy, heavy burden. Like you can't get out of it. Maybe you're going through treatments that feels like it's sucking the life force out of you. This is the time to start really qualifying that energy. Whatever, treatments you're going through, qualify the energy of that. that whatever, whether it's medication, treatment, whatever, that whatever it is, as it goes into your body, it heals your body. Whatever side effects or poison that is in that medication, that it does not affect your system, and with ease and grace, it just comes out. Guys, trust me on this. You always want to qualify everything with ease and grace. Don't ask how I know. The Eight of Pentacles. This is in reverse here because, again, with this, what you feel you make real. The Eight of Pentacles is about working hard and putting in the work. With this is more about the work you need to put in is from your heart, speaking your story. No more of the old story or, and guys, I get it. I know how hard it is with all the emotions when your body is breaking down, the depression, the crappy thoughts, suicidal tendencies. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I walked through it myself. But what I'm saying is, the work that needs to be put in isn't physical at this point. It's emotional. It's changing the thoughts. It's changing the perception. And it is speaking kindly to your body. The challenge for the rest of this week for you is to be kind to your body, be kind to yourself, be kind in your thoughts. Speak to yourself like you would a best friend. The moment you start talking to yourself like yourself is the enemy, Control Alt Delete, stop, put on the brakes. You don't want to go down that path. Why? You have history down that path. You know how that ends. All right, guys. I hope this helped. I hope you found something useful in this. As always, I am sending you oceans and oceans of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. Bye-bye.